We've mentioned in previous lessons that sometimes the inequality sign will change when we're solving inequality problems. In this lesson, we're going to look at when that happens, and it does involve negative numbers. So depending on what we have to do to solve an inequality, if those steps involve doing something with a negative number, we will have to pay attention to whether that inequality sign will stay the same or whether it will change. So we're going to play around with some numbers here just so that we can get a sense of when the inequality sign will change and when it stays the same. So we start off with two numbers, 8 and 5. And let's see, what inequality symbol do we need to put in the middle? Well, 8 is greater than 5, so we'll use the greater than symbol. Now let's see what happens when we add a negative number to both sides of this inequality. Let's add -2 and see what we get. On the left side, we have 8 plus -2, which gives us 6. On the right side, we have 5 plus -2. That gives us 3. And we know that 6 is greater than 3, so we'll put the greater than sign. Now look at the symbol that we started with and the symbol that we ended up with. Both the greater than symbol. So our inequality symbol stayed the same. So we could say that adding -2 to both sides did not change the sign of the inequality. This time we'll start with the same numbers, but we'll do something a little different. Instead of adding -2, we're going to multiply by -2 on both sides. So let's see what we end up with. On the left side, we have 8 times -2. That gives us -16. And on the right, 5 times -2 gives us -10. And now let's see what symbol should go in the middle. Well, -16 is less than -10. It's more negative, so that means it's a smaller number. So we'll need to use the less than symbol. And now let's look at the symbol that we started with and that we ended up with. We started with the greater than symbol, but then after we multiplied both sides by -2, we needed to use the less than symbol. So the symbol changed. It flipped directions. So we could say that multiplying by -2 on both sides does change the sign of the inequality. So when we added -2 on both sides, the symbol did not change. But when we multiplied by -2, it did change. So let's put all this information together so that you can understand when you'll need to keep the sign the same and when you'll need to change it. So when we add or subtract a positive number to both sides, that will make the inequality sign stay the same. Also, if we add or subtract a negative number, that will also cause the sign to stay the same. So no matter what we add or subtract, the symbol is going to stay the same, whether the number is positive or negative. When we multiply or divide by a positive number, that will also cause the symbol to stay the same. However, just like we saw with our last example, multiplying by -2 did cause the symbol to change. And that also happens with dividing by a negative. So when we multiply or divide by a negative number on both sides, the inequality sign will change, or we could say that it flips to the other direction. So just keep these rules in mind as you're solving inequalities, and you'll know exactly what symbol you'll need to use.